Welcome in. Happy Football Friday. We're live at the Lodge here in Hoover. It's Twin Peaks. Landrum, Pat, Molly, and Conrad getting ready for the next 4 hours as we break down the big one coming up in Athens, Georgia. Also another huge game for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers as they take on Texas A&M in College Station. Not only that, but a game going down in the SIP and across college football, especially Happy Valley. Happy Friday, everyone. How are you, Pat?
I am doing great. Unfortunately, the United States not doing as well when you come to the Ryder Cup. I was tuned into that bright and early this morning, and, man, the opening tee shot, Bryson DeChambeau, it's the par 4. He splits over the trees and almost drives the green on number 1 and got everybody all fired up there on Long Island. But unfortunately for Bryson DeChambeau and his partner this morning, it did not go very well. As right now, the Europeans, they have in the 4 early morning matches, they have already secured 3 victories, and so now the United States trying to hold on for one of the 4 matches this morning. So the Europeans came out despite the early hot streak for the Americans. The Europeans playing very well right now. Robert McIntyre and Victor Hovland, they are trying to overcome a one-stroke deficit against Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantley. They've played through 13. But, man, when you got Scotty Scheffler going down for the United States, you had Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas going down for the U.S., it's not been a very good morning if you're a Ryder Cup U.S. fan.
Yeah, I don't know for the United States. I know it's frustrating. Do you think this is maybe just the United States gets in their own heads? I mean, they realize the struggles that they've had against the Europeans. It seems like it almost to me feels like Major League Baseball All-Star game.
Well, I tell you one thing. The Europeans, John Rahm this morning, the way they came out, man, it was a raucous crowd. I mean, you love it. I mean, that's the way it was in Rome a couple years ago, when they had the last Ryder Cup. But since 1979, the leading team after the first session of the Ryder Cup, 9-5-1 for the Ryder Cup. So Europeans looking strong here in the early going, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
And I'm seeing it here, 12-9-1 all-time record of Ryder Cup since 1979 for the Europeans.
Yep.
Leading the United States.
Yep.
We got more golf to go, though, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's just day one. But like I said, it really fired me up this morning because when DeChambeau was the first guy up on the tee, and when he was like, you know what, we're going to go for it, and he almost daggum drove the green on the first hole of the Ryder Cup. I mean, I was just like going, oh, my gosh. And then he hit a long putt that put the U.S. up on front. But John Rahm got hot. And the rest
when do we
was
get
history.
Sepp Straka?
I'm not sure. I don't have the rest of the schedule for the afternoon.
Bestavia's own.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
So we'll keep you updated there.
Yeah. So it's one thing that's obviously going on live sports as we speak. Last night, the Seahawks big winner over the Cardinals. I don't know how much of that game you caught. I was going back and forth between the East Carolina game and Army and the Seahawks and the Cardinals. It was a pretty boring game, Conrad, the first half of the game. But, man, the fourth quarter, it was a lot of excitement.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly interesting. I'm sure a lot of people maybe checked out the East Carolina Army game during the first half of the NFL game. But the final, 8-9 minutes of regulation there was absolutely fantastic. You got redemption by the Seahawks kicker who missed one to go up by 2 scores late, and then he gets to kick the game-winning field goal as time expired. You got Marvin Harrison redeeming himself after his struggles early on in his NFL career. So it ended up being a really, really good game, and I'm just glad that the good guys won because I had Seattle plus half a point. So I was very happy.
Oh, good for you. So, yeah, after scoring 14 straight points to tie the game, the Cardinals kicked off with 28 seconds left, but the kick did not reach the landing zone. If you remember, you have to kick it between the goal line and the 20-yard line, and so if you don't hit it inside the landing zone, it's treated like a kickoff that went out of bounds. So the Seahawks, who just needed a field goal to win, they were able to start their possession on their own 40-yard line. So it only took a couple passes, and all of a sudden they were in field goal range. And lo and behold, they hit a 52-yarder, and Cardinals lose 23-20. I think that was what? Are they 0-8 in their last 8 games against the Seahawks? I think I read that right. Something like that. So rough night if you're a Cardinals fan. Sam Darnold, 18 of 26, 242 yards, touchdown. He was sacked 3 times, but Kyler Murray only threw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, He was sacked 6 times. 6 times last night. So that was a reason why the Seahawks were able to get the victory last night, 23-20. And I mentioned the East Carolina game. It's interesting, Landrum, because UAB, they get to play Army next week. UAB's off this weekend, but got an early morning game against the Cadets from West Point coming up, and they lost in Greenville, North Carolina last night, 28-6. Caton Hauser, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. You could tell it was a really rough first half for Army. They had 128 total yards of offense at halftime, and they were down 21-0.
Yeah, it's tough. Army, what they were able to do last year, that was a special team for Monken, and what they had at quarterback, what they had at running back, and you lost a lot of those leaders from that team. So hopefully that bodes well for UAB as they get back into conference play next week. And inside of Protective Stadium, you got the early kick, and hopefully the Blazers can get a win.
Yeah, Army 1-3 now on the season. East Carolina now 3-2. So tonight we've got a trio of games, and I will tell you, at least 2 of the 3 are very interesting. Molly and I, we have a high school game tonight as Hewitt's playing Pinson. So we'll kind of have that on one of our side TVs. But Florida State, Virginia at 6 o'clock tonight as the Seminoles go on the road to take on the Cavaliers. And then you got TCU, the team that Conrad told us yesterday was going to be kind of his sleeper team, right?
Yeah.
For the rest of the year in college football.
Yep.
They're a top 25 team. They're taking on the Sun Devils out in Tempe. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff there outside of Phoenix, Arizona. So that would be a good one. And then the late night, if you're just bored, Houston and Oregon State. Oregon State, not a very good football team. So we'll see what happens as Willie Fritz's Cougars head out to Corvallis to take on those guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the year. I'm trying to pull it up. But FSU going to Charlottesville and playing Virginia, that was that the game that they got upset? Was that their first loss that they suffered as a member of the ACC way back when? Did I just dream that up?
May have been. I'm sure FSU Dave can text in and let us know if that was the case. But, yeah, the Seminoles coming in this week at number 8, taking on the Cavaliers. And right now, Florida State about a 6.5-point favorite. The point total 60.5.
1995. That was
it.
The year that Virginia gave Florida State its first ever ACC loss.
Okay.
So the 30-year anniversary tonight.
Of that loss.
It's eerie, but this Virginia team, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Florida State will take care of business and move along in ACC play. So last night we got another injury report for both the Alabama and Auburn games coming up this weekend. For the Alabama Crimson Tide, Latham, Beeman out. We already knew that. Probable, they still list Danny Lewis Jr. and Tim Keenan III. We all know that Keenan is going to play. Meanwhile, Conrad, for the Georgia Bullpups, you've got Ethan Barber, Malachi Tolliver, Ernest Green III, and Thomas Blackshear all ruled out. There's no probables or questionables for Georgia, and it's interesting because Ernest Green is the offensive tackle. He was the starting tackle for the Georgia Bulldogs when the season started, but he got into a little bit of an injury situation with his back and did not play a lot against Marshall. Then he missed the Austin Peay game. Then in the Tennessee game, Green was the starting tackle for Georgia, and just things were not going good, Conrad. Then all of a sudden they found themselves looking for another tackle, and he did not get back in the game very much. So had some pass protection problems. So I guess the fact that he's been banged up, they went ahead and ruled him completely out against Alabama.
Yeah, so they're going to be missing their right tackle, which you just mentioned in Green, and then their backup center is also going to be unavailable for them. And, I think that's one of the more interesting parts of this matchup potentially tomorrow is, I think Alabama's offensive line still has some things to prove. I think the right tackle spot for Alabama is a question mark. Maybe Michael Carroll gets a little bit of a run tomorrow if Wilkin Formby struggles. But I think for Georgia as well, right, they don't have a bunch of world beaters out there in the offensive front. So you just kind of wonder which side's going to be able to get more pressure on the quarterback. That could be a big thing to watch yesterday. And if you're an Alabama fan, you want a little optimism on that. I saw this stat yesterday. Very interesting, not typical for Alabama or for Georgia defense. The Georgia defensive line, do you know how many sacks they have this year?
Would it be 3?
It would be 0.
Oh, 0.
They have 0 sacks from their defensive linemen. They have 4 as a team, which is tied with Alabama, but they have 0 from their defensive line. So maybe Alabama's offensive line in for a good showing tomorrow. We'll see.
Meanwhile, the Auburn Texas A&M availability report last night, we already knew that Horatio Fields and Darrell Robinson out for Auburn. Probable Amaris Williams and Connor Lew. Those are the two names mentioned for Auburn. Meanwhile, Texas A&M Bryce Anderson is out. Questionable linebacker Scooby Williams.
Yeah, for Hugh Freeze and for Auburn, I said it yesterday, the health-wise, you hate the losses that you have with a Horatio Fields, but for the most part, you're pretty healthy, especially coming off a game with a very physical Oklahoma team. But this is so important. This is such a big game. I don't have to say it for Hugh Freeze, for this Auburn team. When you look at where they could potentially go, and are you going to get to 9 wins? Could you possibly get to 10 wins this season? This is one of those games that's going to help decide it, and I feel good about Auburn going in this spot. I really do, and I don't know why.
Yeah. We will have Bet It or Forget It coming up in the 12 o'clock hour, so we'll get to hear everybody's feelings on that game and what they will be playing one way or another. Speaking of Auburn, kind of bizarre in my opinion, John Cohen, the athletics director for Auburn, decides that Thursday night is the best time for him to address the officiating situation in Norman, Oklahoma. He posted last night, after reflecting, I want to take a moment to address what transpired last Saturday at Oklahoma. Since the game, Auburn University President Dr. Chris Roberts and I have had extensive conversations with Southeastern Conference leadership, including Commissioner Sankey. We remain extremely disappointed because our young men prepare each week to compete at the highest level. They deserve to have the game officiated at an optimum level. We fully understand the human element of the officiating process. Judgment calls don't always go your way. Saturday went beyond judgment calls. A specifically emphasized rule was not properly officiated, which impacted the game by giving our opponent the lead. As the SEC acknowledged, the Auburn family and our student athletes deserved better. Signed, John Cohen. I go back to my original statement. Why did it take him 5 days to release a statement about the game, and why was Thursday night the best time for him to address it?
I don't know the context of where he was when he released this statement. I know that they put it out on social media, but maybe it was time for him to just talk to different people, maybe get some opinions from people that he trusted. I have no idea. I don't have a problem with him saying it, and when he said it, if for anything else, just a reminder of how bad it was last Saturday in Norman, Oklahoma. And for this crew, I'm sure they're well aware of what's going on, but just another reminder. I didn't have an issue with the timing of it.
I do. I think it's kind of lame, to be honest with you. Don't you?
Yeah.
If Greg Bird
Thursday,
did something like that, I would be ripping apart Greg
Yeah.
Bird this morning.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's embarrassing. It is. I'm sorry. Like, I know that I'm the Alabama guy. Move on. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean,
it's 5 days ago. Move on.
I feel the same way, Conrad.
Yeah.
Move
I mean,
on.
the time to do it would have been Sunday afternoon or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. But to wait till Thursday night when you're getting ready to get on a plane to go to College Station, it's just –
It makes it seem like you haven't moved on from it. And
Exactly.
I will
Yeah.
say this. I think the team has moved on from it, and I really hope that they have, and I think that they have. But, I mean, come on.
Yeah. 1-800-239-WJOX, that is the phone number. You can also text us on the Courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. That is the number that you can join in on the program. And Landrum, we're here for the next 4 hours here at Twin Peaks, and I know they got a lot of great deals ready for folks to come in here and have lunch.
Yeah, they do. They got Don Don's favorite. It's the mom's pot roast, or you can go with one of their lunch at the peak special. You can choose a combo, go with a soup and salad, a half sandwich, soup and salad, all kinds of different options. And don't forget about the 29-degree, teeth-chattering, cold draft beer that they have, all kinds of scratch-made cocktails. So come and join us at Twin Peaks as we broadcast until 2 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Well, it's that season when you may be running the AC during the day and the heat at night, and that stress on your home comfort system is why you need a Trane. They've been named America's most trusted brand for 11 consecutive years, so you know that you can count on the reliability of a Trane to keep your home and your family comfortable for years to come. So go and find out more at Trane.com.
More predictions are coming in on the big games coming up this weekend. We'd love to hear from you on the Courtesy GMC text line. Shoot us your predictions for the game. We'll also go over this week's Twitter poll question in regards to who potentially could be the upset victim coming up this week. And all that straight ahead. It's the Friday edition of Three Man Front on Jocks. It is 10:18 on this Football Friday. Coach Wimp Sanderson, he will join us at the bottom of the hour. Get another blue plate from him. Mike Rodak from Bama 247. We'll do Better to Forget It in the 12 o'clock hour. And Kyle Parmalee from Starnes Media. He'll be along as we're already past the halfway point in the high school football season. You guys have James Clemens tonight, right? They're coming down from the Huntsville area to play Spain Park. Molly and I will be at Husky Field at Hewitt-Trussville Stadium on the banks of the Cahaba River as the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies go out of region, taking on the Pinson Valley Indians tonight.
Yeah, and you reminded me that one of a former assistant there at Hewitt-Trussville, and then last year he was at Baker, Juan Johnson, is the new head coach at James Clemens.
First-class dude. Juan's a great guy. We hated to see him. He was our offensive coordinator for a number of years at Hewitt. Got an opportunity to go down to Baker, and then they beat us. Yeah. I mean, what kind of hospitality is that? We go down to Baker.
Sure did.
And they beat us.
You didn't have the agreement in place?
I guess not.
You guys have Pinson tonight? Is that right?
Yep.
We do.
Okay. Is it homecoming?
It is homecoming.
Do you guys do an efficient homecoming?
Molly's got her corsage. She showed it to me in the car.
Well, I have my homecoming dress. I was on court one of the years I was in high school, and I was going to wear that.
Of course
She was going to do sideline wearing her.
Wearing my homecoming dress.
Who's going to escort you out?
Myself.
Huh?
Just me, myself, and I.
Get the Husky mascot to escort
I did think
you
about
out.
that. I have been in contact.
I
with
think
some
that would be
people.
cute. That'd go really, really well on social.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
Do that.
We're live at Twin Peaks. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. Hope to see you. Take an extended lunch. Come on by and see us. I mentioned that there were some more predictions that I was reading over the last 24 hours. I was reading Gig'em 247, and they have predicted that A&M is going to win a close one against Auburn, 31-27. I have yet to see anybody for either Alabama, Georgia, or Auburn, Texas A&M go more than like inside the number, so to speak. I've not seen anybody be as bold as to say that. Now, I think this morning, now correct me if I'm wrong, Conrad, but on the Damian Mitchell show with special guest Conrad Van Order, Damian predicted, was it Alabama to beat Georgia by a couple scores, or was it the other way around, Auburn to beat Texas A&M by a couple scores?
He picked Alabama and Auburn to both win. He picked Auburn in a close one. He picked Alabama to win 35-24 over Georgia, so an 11-point win for the Tide.
So 11-point win.
Yes, for Alabama. That was Damian's prediction.
Okay.
Interesting. They had 11 points. Okay.
But, I mean, I think that's the biggest one that I've seen, to your point, Pat, or heard.
Yeah, no, I have not. I was reading some of the tout sheets last night. You know, the Action Network, Gold Sheet, some of those, and everybody is predicting a very tight game, especially between the hedges.
Yeah, I don't see this being either team taking control. I think it's going to be everything that we bargained for tomorrow. I thought it was interesting what Rodney Orr told us yesterday, Rodney, a Tider insider. And paraphrasing what he said, but then he said they feel good about Alabama's roster top to bottom and the more talented roster than what Georgia has, which you haven't been able to say. Well, maybe you've been able to say it, and it might have been splitting hairs some years. Some years it's been a push, but I found that very interesting.
Yeah, and the point that you just made, based on these tout sheets and you know, Gold Sheet and stuff like that, they basically said the exact same thing. They said when you do a deep dive on the roster and you do another deep dive on some other analytics, that's why a lot of people are even going as far as to say that, you know, Bama on the money line is their play. And I'm talking about, you know, major Vegas people. Not just talk show host in Birmingham, Alabama. That's coming from people outside the state of Alabama. So, and that's another sidebar that we've talked about throughout the week, because if Alabama goes over there and they lose the game, and let's say they lose the game by more than a touchdown, how does that look? And how do the fans believe this team is now going to look and operate or be motivated moving forward for the rest of the year?
Yeah, and then there's the shadow of doubt that's cast. You look at the rest of that schedule, either who you're going to or who you have coming in, and how much wiggle room do you have with that resume? Who are your most impressive wins at the end of the season? Could be an elimination game. for all we know. So Alabama already with the one loss, you can't afford to lose it. But I think that this is going to be a great game. It's just hard for me to trust Alabama completely, to be adamant Alabama's going to win this football game, because the best team that I've seen them play was in the opening week, and I know what I saw.
Yeah. It's hard for people to get that out of their system.
Plus, you're going to go and take on a team in Kirby Smart that, he's keyed up for this game. Mm-hmm. He's reminding himself of his record against Alabama, what happened last year, knowing you have the week off. I don't know. It's going to be a prove-it-to-me game for Alabama.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel the exact same way. I think people nationally, granted the last two opponents have not been up to the same caliber as Georgia or Florida State, but folks nationally are going, okay, this is a separation Saturday. Back in the old days, this is what we would call it, separation Saturday. So how is this Alabama team, if they win this game, what does that do moving forward? Because now all of a sudden you got Vanderbilt coming in, and, it's going to be the gauntlet from here on out with SEC play.
Yeah, and right now with the parity that we see in this league, you can't take any weeks off.
No.
Which should excite you as a college football fan or a fan of the
but not as a
SEC, because
coach.
we're going to get nines. No, this is the grind that is the SEC schedule.
Hey, listen, I love what Hugh Freeze said after practice yesterday. Somebody asked him about the schedule, the SEC schedule, and he made a joke. He said, was the Packers not available for a game?
That's pretty good.
I mean, he was like, it's great. And it's like you said, Landrum, as a football fan, you're like, man, this is great every single week. But, man, you're a coach like Hugh Freeze or Kalen DeBoer, and you're, like, looking at the schedule, and you're like, wow, where's that breathing room I used to have, where I'd get a couple games where I could kind of, okay, let's kind of take a deep breath.
But I like that. Look, the fans, we expect it, right? You go to a game, you pay money to go and watch a team, or you're in front of your television, your favorite couch or your favorite easy chair, that one Saturday that you get to focus and enjoy your product and enjoy watching your team. Look, I want to see them playing really good competition. And guess what? You better show up to play. Yeah. You're getting paid to do it, number one, and people are paying a lot of money to watch you do it.
Yeah, you're about to earn that sometimes $8 to $10 million paycheck you get as a head coach, because it just got real in the SEC. I know we've had a lot of rain over the last couple of days, and water is your home's worst enemy, and it doesn't need an invitation. It can find its way into your crawl space, which can bring about mold, pests, and wood rot. But Alabama Professional Services, or APS, they have the solution for you. Their crawl space encapsulation system, it will seal out the moisture, block the pests, and can even help reduce your energy bills. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. They will cater a solution to your problem based on your needs. So call APS today, 205-951-9717, or go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. That's 205-951-9717.
We never know what he's going to say. The Coach Wimp Sanderson, presented by Craneworks, his Blue Plate Special of the Week, comes your way next. 3 man front us. We broadcast live from Twin Peaks in Hoover. Come and join us.
We are moments away from talking to the coach, Wimp Sanderson. Brought to you each and every week by Crane Works. He will join the program momentarily as we'll get his thoughts on the weekend's action that's going to happen. Man, it's going to be a fun weekend in regards to what is going on with the SEC, with big games for Alabama and Auburn. And there's been another stormy day throughout central Alabama. And if you're in Trussville, Vestavia, Homewood, or Gardendale, the wind was howling, the torrential rains came and went, and it's going to damage potentially your roof. So that's why you need to call Abide Roofing. They're here to help you. No pressure whatsoever. They want to give you a free inspection on your roof, and they can detail if you've got any problems, whether it's a couple of shingles, whether you need a whole full roof replacement. They can help you. And if a storm left you more than just a soggy yard, they can also handle tree removal. Abide Roofing has your back. I've seen their work firsthand. So Travis and their team, they're licensed, bonded, insured pros who genuinely care about your home and throughout the whole process. So if you're worried about your roof after a storm, give them a call. Call Abide Roofing today, 205-941-6223, or visit them online, abideroof.com. That's abideroof.com.
If I asked you who has the better chance of pulling the upset, would it be Arkansas hosting Notre Dame or Mississippi State hosting Tennessee?
Whew. I go Arkansas.
Not a bad choice. I'm tempted, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think it's Mississippi State.
Okay.
I feel really good about this spot for them.
Okay.
What would that do for Jeff Levin?
Tremendous. I mean, I think he's already done a really good job so far.
It is time for the coach, Wimp Sanderson, as always, presented by our friends at Craneworks.
Oh, okay.
In just a matter of moments, Wimp Sanderson, presented by Craneworks. When's the last time you operated a crane?
You know what? I've never operated a crane.
We work with a crane on Saturdays.
Yeah, David Crane. I've used a dingo before.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
I've done that. But no, I've never operated a crane. I think you probably, need a professional to do that, and I'm definitely not that. So,
what's the reaction Alabama loses to Georgia by a field goal, or just loses? We'll just say loses.
I think that it all depends, in my opinion, how the team looks going about the loss. It's not about a moral victory, but you cannot go out there and have the poor performance like you did against Florida State. Like you just can't.
If some of those same things start showing up again?
No, then all of a sudden, we're having a very interesting conversation on Monday. It's not so much them losing to Georgia, it's how they look in regards to losing to Georgia. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you get out physical where it looks like you're getting out efforted. Yeah, I can see that. Gunnar Stockton's able to have success through the air. Lack of pass rush. I think you'll hear some of that if that does happen. But you flip the script, Alabama goes Athens, they deal Georgia a loss, then all of a sudden this is the team we expected, right?
Well, it is, but I would also throw caution to the wind because based on what you have left on that SEC schedule, I don't think it's a make or break game for Alabama. Like Alabama could lose the game to Georgia and they would still have the potential to put themselves in a position to get into the college football playoff. It would be a little bit more, you don't have much of a mulligan, so to speak, left to go in the season. But I do believe that Alabama, just because you lost to Georgia, doesn't mean that the season's over with. And just if I think that Alabama wins, it doesn't mean that Alabama's back.
This is where strength of record may really come into play.
Yeah.
Because Missouri is a ranked team, right?
Yes.
You got to go to Missouri. You've still got a Tennessee team.
You're playing a ranked Vanderbilt team.
Vanderbilt team that's going to be there.
Oklahoma top 10 team.
Oklahoma.
LSU a top 10 team.
Yeah, who knows where Auburn's going to be.
Auburn will be ranked by that time.
At the end of the season. So, yeah, I think that the schedule right now sets up better for Alabama being able to maybe mask or suffer one of this loss to Georgia, and they're still, as we see it right now, if strength of record, and we're taking the committee at their word and how they're going to view it, then they're probably not hurt too bad.
Yeah. So do you agree with that? I mean, just because Alabama wins doesn't mean they're back, but
no, because I don't think that this is a flawless Georgia team. We've seen better Georgia teams.
Yeah.
But right now, Georgia, they're undefeated, and you got to give them credit for what they did in the second half versus Tennessee.
Yep. We hope to catch up with Coach Wimp Sanderson in just a couple minutes. We will talk to Mike Rodak coming up at 11 o'clock from Bama 247. His pick is in at their website. We will save that for him on the air and let him tell us what he thinks is going to happen. The Courtesy GMC text line is open. Landrum at 205-834-9450.
That is right. A lot of reaction coming in on this Football Friday. And this one reads, going back to John Cohen's statement, was it ill-timed? And this texter says, Auburn alum, yes, it was bad timing in Bush League. I was over it on Sunday. Very good. And this next one says, Auburn fans will be talking about the game for the next 20 years. They live to complain. Okay. More text that we will get to, we promise. But now it's the coach. Every single week he is presented by our friends at Craneworks.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah, the big dog's got it.
Wimp Sanderson on Three-Man Front is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it. The big dog's got it. And now, Wimp Sanderson.
I faced it all.
And the coach, Wimp Sanderson, joining us courtesy of Craneworks on the Higginbotham Hotline. Coach is a few minutes late. Hope everything is okay. I'm guessing he was yelling at the TV because he's watching the Ryder Cup. Yeah, Coach, we're there.
4-2. I'm up with my record, so I'm bragging about it. Yeah, I've been watching the Ryder Cup, but I don't always have my cotton-picking phone, something with it all the time. Anyway, the Ryder Cup is interesting. We're kind of down in that. Let's talk about the Georgia-Alabama game. I had thought for a while that Georgia would try to play Alabama the way Oklahoma played Auburn. I don't think so. I think Georgia's going to do everything they can. They'll put as much pressure on him as they can, on Ty as they can. But I think they'll do very, very good in their pass coverage. I think the defensive backs will not give him very good looks. And if that's the case, then I think that causes you some problem. I could be wrong. I just don't think that based on the stats that I have seen, that they're going to be a team that's going to just absolutely blitz all the time the way Oklahoma did on Auburn. I don't know what you guys think about that. You can comment if you wish. But I think that's big.
No, I agree with you, Coach. I don't see, Kirby doing what Brent Venables did against Auburn, but there's one thing for sure. We know how Kirby likes to game plan with that defense, and that defense's DNA, well, his DNA will be all over that defense in regards to what they're going to do to try to combat Ty Simpson, because as he said earlier in the week, he thinks Ty Simpson is the hottest quarterback in America right now.
Well, I think he probably is. He gets the football in the hands of those receivers about as well as anybody if he has time. I think also that both teams have good players. You can argue about who has the best. You can look at all the cotton-picking, silly recruiting ratings that people give out all the time. Folks, it's how you play when you get there. It's did I evaluate you in the right way? Did I evaluate you mentally as well as physically? Are you going to be a guy that's going to like the money more than you are the playing? Are you going to be a guy who's going to complain about the guy next to you who's making more? I think those are the key things, that people don't talk about that at all. They want to know, who's got the best players. It's how you play when you get there. And I think both teams will play awfully hard. I know Alabama's lost in both games. They always, remember, too, they've also beaten LSU on the road. Georgia is very, very good. He does a terrific job. Very, very fortunate in the Tennessee game that the field goal that they were going to make was cost them the game, and he missed that one and made the other one. So I think that was big. So I don't know what questions you have to ask me about that game, and I know the upset situation I had some calls from Auburn people last night about what was said, not so much last night about overall, and I don't know that the game was greatly officiated, to be honest with you. I know that one mistake that was made. I just felt like, and I'm not taking up anybody, I just felt like the pass interference calls at goal line was the ones maybe that were missed. But
Yeah.
Who knows? I just try to coach basketball. I don't have any idea about that. But
Coach, I did want to ask you, because
yeah.
you know him, you have a relationship with him. Statement yesterday, basically official that do you doing that? You go and
I don't have a good answer. I know you want a yes or no answer, and I don't really have a really good answer. There's some reasoning behind it, I'm sure. Whether you do that to for whatever reason, that you have some reason to do that, then you do it. I know John real well. He came to a lot of my games, and when I've called athletic directors to be on my show, he's always wanted something that and has been on our show. So I don't know. I don't know whether he had what he had in mind when he did that. He felt like it was the thing to do. And
would that be just a subtle reminder, Coach? I mean, not that the officials need
maybe,
it, but
yeah.
that hey,
Right.
please don't screw us this game.
Yeah. I think you're. I don't think that's a bad mistake, a bad idea about you. I think it is a subtle reminder. There's no doubt about it. When the officials came over you get screwed in basketball in the SEC just as soon as they play the national anthem. And the officials are going, right after the national anthem, you're gonna get screwed. So at least they had that box for me, and I know that when they come over and see me, I shake hands with them. I said, I got a bad call. I got bad calls last game. I hope you guys pick it up a little bit. So I kind of threw that out there a little bit to them. So I try to be funny with the officials too. I try to be cute.
I bet they
you
loved
can't
you.
be real cute with it. No, they didn't
loved
like
you.
it.
They loved you.
No, they were trying to catch me out of the cotton picking box. They got down to. They told me that they said if we get on the far end of the court to shoot a free throw, look down to the far end of the court. His toes are on the box. I said, well, shit, though on the box don't mean I'm out of the box. I'm not out of the cotton picking box. So anyway, we have all kind of problems, arguing about that. But we should have I think a good week this week. Tennessee. I'll get into this blue plate thing while I was late getting on the show, but I think I'm 4-2, and it's already hard to pick games. Everybody has said Wimp. You got to pick Tennessee 7.5 against Mississippi State, and they all said that in the LSU and Clemson game. And if everybody had picked Clemson, everybody would be out for deep ditches who wouldn't have the money. So I didn't take it. I didn't take the Tennessee game because I think I'm probably wrong. That's probably incorrect. What do you guys say on that?
I like Mississippi
What
State.
else
I like Mississippi State in this spot, Coach. I really do. I think that they can make this a four-quarter game. I like them plus the points. Yes, sir.
Well, I didn't know. Pat, is Pat still there?
Yeah, I'm right here, Coach. Yep, I like Mississippi State too. I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad because you two guys are pretty good. I looked at Louisville and Pitt. Louisville scores a lot of points. Pitt only gets 4.5. I looked at that. And I didn't know exactly. I kind of like the. I do this because a lot of the listeners have said, "Well, mention other games," so I mentioned that's what I'm doing. I happen to do. So I looked at Kansas State and Central Florida. Central Florida scored a lot of points. It's a 6 game, I think, for Central Florida to get 6. That's not real bad. And so that any games y'all looked at that y'all liked before I give the one that I thought.
I love the over on the Ole Miss LSU game, Coach.
Okay.
I like South Carolina at home against Kentucky.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. It's getting a little bit tighter now. The leagues are now you kind of can figure out exactly kind of where everybody stands. Although they got some injuries and thing, and the Georgia Alabama game's hard to pick. I don't know. It's a booger game. Kirby's been very fortunate, unfortunate in some cases that Alabama beat them the way they had. But I think this is Is this not the first time that they've played at Georgia? The rest of the games have been on neutral field. Is that not correct?
Yes,
right.
between Kirby and Alabama, yeah. I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay, I know I got on late. I know you want rid of them to start with. So I am y'all be ready for this because you'll say, Wimp, why does Wimp do that? You know, because how do you pick one everybody is interested in? I am picking a basketball school. I am picking Kansas to beat Cincinnati.
Oh, wow.
And I know you're going to throw up and you don't think it's good for the listeners. They go and just gone to sleep. But the guy at Kansas can really coach. This guy can coach. And they're a basketball school who's gotten a lot better in football, and the fans that are there are excited about their team. And it's 4.5. Is that not correct? And,
Yes. I'm looking at it.
I'm taking Kansas and the 4.5, and giving 4.5 against Cincinnati. So I may be not very good, but that's what I think. So we'll see.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about? I know you got to go. You got somebody else coming on. Thanks.
No. Just quickly, just your thoughts. You think Auburn gets it done on the road against Texas A&M?
I think it's going to be hard. I think Texas A&M is pretty darn good defensively. I think Auburn has played a little bit better than we maybe thought. I thought the opening game was a big win for them. I think it's going to be difficult. They may beat the line. I think it's going to be hard. I really do. I think Auburn is gotten better. I think they're playing harder. They're certainly very, very good defensively. He's done a good job with them. I would say, if I had to answer your question, I think without really answering it, I'd say it's going to be difficult.
All right.
That's what I think for today. So anyway, I'm in and out. I'm sorry I was late being on. All this happened to my phone. So
no, that's okay, Coach. Tell us about Craneworks.
Well, Craneworks, David, up there and them do a great job, and along with y'all, and they're trusted crane and equipment rental company for a long, long time, for 30 years actually. They'll send an operator with them to help you if you're going to tear down something or put something back up. They're in Birmingham and Nashville and Mobile and Huntsville. You can check out on craneworks.com and get a very good idea of what they do. You can go to Rental Works, and as I said, I've been involved with Rental Works because I couldn't screw in a light bulb. They brought something out here for me to do, and I did it, and they watched me, but they taught me also with an operator. Waste Works, same way, dumpsters that will come in and get the stuff and get rid of it. Appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate Craneworks having me on, and I'll talk to you next week, and I hope that's going to be my 5th one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
5-2. That's what we're talking about.
Rock Chalk Jayhawks. Let's go.
Bye. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Wimp Sanderson joining us, courtesy of Craneworks, and all of our guests join us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
More from Twin Peaks in Hoover. Top of the hour, we'll talk to Mike Rodak from Bama 247, get his prediction on this weekend's game against Georgia. All that straight ahead on Three Man Front. Always appreciate Coach Wimp Sanderson joining us every Friday, brought to you by Craneworks. We're live at Twin Peaks in Hoover. Mary, good to see her. Mary has made it here. She's one of our regulars on Tuesday at Social Taco, so it's nice for her to stop on by and see us here at Twin Peaks.
Yeah, come and enjoy some of the bites if you want to get started, whether it's the Big Pretzel, the Billionaire's Bacon, which they're really proud of, the mini beef tacos, or you can go with the fried pickles, jalapenos. There's so many other things to choose from, whether it's a sandwich, whether it's the tacos, burgers, or you want to go fork and knife with some of the hot dishes, the lobster mac and cheese, the mom's pot roast, which is Don's favorite, or you can go with some other options they have here today, and they have all kinds of lunch combo specials as well. Twin Peaks, got Ryder Cup. We'll talk Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, Texas A&M. Any college football you want to talk about, come and join us at the Lodge as we broadcast until 2 o'clock.
Well, Andrew was just talking about the Ryder Cup teed off this morning from Bethpage Black on Long Island up in New York. Matter of fact, the President of the United States, he has just landed there, and he is making his way with the motorcade to the Ryder Cup. He's going to watch a little bit this afternoon. But right now, the Europeans, they're up 3-0 over the United States. This is the morning foursome. So right now, you've got Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantley. Right now, they are one up heading to the 18th hole. So the U.S. is already guaranteed a half point as they go here into the 18th hole. But they need that whole point, Landrum, because so far this morning, DeChambeau and Justin Thomas, they lost 4-3. Scotty Scheffler, Russell Hanley, they lost 5-3. And Colin Morikawa and Harris English, they lost 5-4.
Is Coach O still there?
He needs to be.
I hope that Coach O is still there. Can we get President Trump and Coach O together leading cheers in the stands with the U.S. fans?
Who do you think would say Tua Tagovailoa's name right? Would it be Coach O or would it be the President of the United States?
Tagovailoa.
Yeah, there you go.
President Trump might have gotten closer with that pronunciation than Coach O would.
I think you're right.
Over.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
He was great in the stands.
Yeah, he was.
I saw some more videos of him in the stands trying to get everybody fired up.
Muscle Beach is doing him well. It looks like he's trimmed up a little bit.
He's getting ready for that job in Stillwater.
Bridget or Brittany or whatever her name is, she's keeping him in shape.
Would you give up your high-rise condo on South Beach to go to Stillwater, Oklahoma?
You kidding? Yeah.
Okay,
Stillwater, that's God's country,
I was
man.
just making sure that you would do that. Mike Rodak, Bama
That's where Mike Gundy
247.
coached.
Yeah. Mike Rodak joins us next on Three Man Front.